Hello guys, welcome to the Wars and Weapons channel. I actually came up with a case of chickenpox, as you can see right now, and I actually was right out of the shower, so you can see my hair looks all messy and stuff. And I of course couldn't shave my beard due to obvious reasons, but I still came by and decided to make a video because we had a deal that I make weekly videos, and your end of the deal was liking them and subscribing to the channel. So I kept my end of the deal, so I'm expecting you to keep yours. Anyway, let's go on to the video. Now, in all of my videos, all of my old videos, I talk about old stuff. Old tanks, old artillery, old gunpowder, you can say it. And basically everything I had covered in the channel previously was old. Now in this video I'm going to actually talk about something modern in order to change the space within our channel towards more modern stuff, because basically more people are interested in them. So in this video I'm going to go through one of the most controversial topics, being the hardest to invade countries. Now in this video I'm going to have a list of top 3, which is almost obvious, and in every video they're usually China, Russia and United States. But almost every single person has different has a different order of putting them within the first 3 places. So basically it's different for almost every person. In my video I'm going to share my own list of the top 3 hard to conquer countries with you, and in it I'm going to talk about how I ordered Russia, United States and China. So in the 3rd place, almost obviously always, goes China. This is because it has the 3rd greatest army within the world, and actually the 1st largest army within the world, with more millions of active personnel. Now, it also has tons of tanks, and you could say it's almost unmatched within the tech field. Not unmatched, but basically it has some of the state-of-the-art stuff that we would not expect to meet on a battlefield every day. And it also has the only growing nuclear arsenal within the world, which makes it almost an increasing threat. Almost every day it keeps going because they produce more nukes and more nukes as days go by. The other thing you would have to worry about within China is its population, which maybe in case of an invasion would want to fight and protect their country, which in case you would be looking into at least 10 or 15 million armed people within the field of the battle. Now, even though people may not be well trained and well equipped, but well, if you're going to face 10 to 15 million, of course they're going to be one hell of a threat. Now, one of the other concerning things when you're conquering China, you definitely want to consider this, is that China has a great industrial capacity. Almost everything in your house says made in China. You can look everywhere, you can find one almost everywhere. Now, this is due to their great industrial capacity. Now, imagine what happens if all of that industrial capacity goes towards producing state-of-the-art military equipment. It would create a great arsenal for the soldiers to start bringing some of the most destructive weapons within the battlefield pretty quickly. So basically, it could turn China again in a pretty hard target, because there was actually a pretty close competition within these close 3. I actually had a hard time placing them. The second one in my list, which many people would put it in their list, in my list is actually United States. This is because one of the main reasons is that it's on an island and it's isolated from any countries that may want to invade it and hurt it. And basically getting to it is almost impossible because it has the world's strongest navy and the world's strongest air force. So trying to go in by sea and from air is almost impossible. Now, even if you manage to somehow do get to the mainland United States, you're going to be looking into the world's largest army. No, not the largest, but the world's strongest army. And you're going to be expecting a hell of a fight. Now, one of the things you would also have to be concerned about is the population and the people. America is a pretty patriotic country. You can see it almost everywhere on every meme on the internet. And they also arm their citizenry because they believe that freedom is something that should be given to everyone. So basically purchasing weapons is legal there. So basically your soldiers can be expecting to get shot up by civilians. Now the civilians in that area also, they have shooting range. So they're gonna be one hell of a fight. Besides the actual extremely well-trained soldiers within the actual United States military branches, they also have access to some of the most modern equipment, making them an extremely hard army to fight on the battlefield. Besides the arms on their strongest air force and their strongest navy. So basically, invading this country is almost impossible. But the reason I put it in the second place is because it has, first, a smaller nuclear arsenal, and it also has a less rough terrain than number one, which will be Russia. Now, Russia, as we all know, has the largest nuclear arsenal in the world, and it also has the most amount of territory in the world. And within the terrain part, it has almost the roughest terrain you will ever face anywhere in the world. Mostly due to cold environment, logistics will meet a great problem, and when logistics fail to reach the basic equipment for your soldiers are also going to be more equipment because they're in cold condition and they may freeze to death. Basically, some of the world conquerors that managed to actually get to Russia, they almost all failed to conquer it. Many of them, including Napoleon and Hitler, were pretty great world conquerors. I mean, like Napoleon, he managed to make friends out of nothing, and he actually managed to bring Europe to his knees 5 times. He also managed to go on and conquer all the way until Moscow, but due to the cold winter conditions, his army died out, and he was forced to retreat to France mainland, which he declared the Fifth Coalition fight defeat. And well, basically that's how the Russia's winter, not the Russians themselves, actually beat Napoleon. So was it for Hitler? I'm not saying that the Soviets and the Russians, they weren't well fighting, but the cold was the main thing driving them back, which the first and the second option lack in greatly. Now, the Hitler, as was the most modern invasion on Russian land, he decided to go on all the way, and he managed to successfully conquer all the way towards Moscow and put up a great fight. But at Moscow, things took a turning part for the Soviets because their soldiers started pushing the Germans back all the way back to Berlin. Another thing is that Russia also has the greatest nuclear arsenal within the world, making it an extremely tough condition, making your people of the country invading Russia face extremely great danger due to the fact that any moment you can be looking up to 3,000 nuclear warheads falling on your heads. So basically it will not be a good experience, I'm telling you. And basically Russia is almost uninvadable because due to its cold conditions near Siberia and some places over there, which Russia doesn't have many resources. One of the main reasons Russia is also extremely not hard, but no one has managed to actually conquer it, is because Russia didn't have many resources within its eastern part, and most of the resources were all within its western part. So once you conquered Russia into its west part, you'd basically lose interest in the rest, and basically you would start sending in less troops, making the Russians have less to deal with, and they would easily push you back. Now, in fact, the main reason I'm pretty sure almost all of you know the order of not a step back issued by Stalin within Stalingrad, Leningrad, and Moscow, which was basically any soldier that took a step back would be shot to death, which actually led to many succeeding assaults against the Germans, which led to their counterattack all the way back to Berlin. So basically the reason he gave that order was because he knew that most of his resources were in the West and already conquered by the Nazis. So if he were to continue retreating east, he would be left with eventually nothing until the Soviet Union collapses. So he sent that order to his commanders, and they actually pushed the Germans back all the way back to Berlin, as I said, and they won the Second World War. And basically, Russia is almost an extremely hard to conquer war. I know the war on Ukraine is not going on well for the Russians, fortunately for the West, and basically that's we all seeing a poor performance from the Russian army, but well, we all know that going into the Russian region and fighting in the Yamantau mountain with sub-zero degrees is not going to be fun for any soldier, and definitely anyone would want to go there. Thank you guys for watching. I shared you guys with my list of top 3 worst countries to invade. And make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bar bell to be notified of the rest of the bars that will occur on the channel later. Thank you guys for watching again, and stand by for the next video.